I just absolutely hate it when this happens. Because it takes so damn much time to clean up the mess afterwards. It's like, you invite somebody into your house and they bring their dog and he craps all over your living room floor. It's kind of the equivalent of what John, 1285 from Austin, Texas, just did just before the break. John in Austin, Texas. Hey, John, says you disagree.
Yes,
about
sir.
What?
I do disagree. How are you, Tom?
I'm well. I hope you are too, John. What's on your mind?
I'm doing good. So I was listening to your show. Did I just hear you say that Joe Biden is an average American?
Yeah, I think he comes across as one. I mean, obviously he's wealthier than the average American. He's doing okay. But I've met Joe Biden. He knows how to connect with people in a way that is, frankly, a rare political skill.
Yeah, because the average American is worth over $150 million.
I don't think Joe Biden's worth anything close to that. But whatever he is worth, it really doesn't matter. The question is whether he's doing a good job as president of the United States. I mean, the Bush family is a dynastic family. They've got mansions all over the place. They've got that huge, compound in Kennebunkport and a mansion in Houston. I mean, we've always tolerated rich presidents. Franklin Roosevelt was probably one of our richest presidents. So what?
Okay, blah, blah, blah. So this guy's worked in the government for 50 years, making an average salary of $100,000, and now he's worth over $150 million. So he's an average American.
Again, I dispute your allegations of his net worth, but whatever it is,
it doesn't matter.
I'm frankly, John, I'm frankly more concerned about what politicians do. I don't know if John is a victim of listening to right-wing media and his head is full of BS, or if he's just a liar. But, he called up and he goes, oh, Joe Biden, he's worth $175 million. Joe Biden has been in public service since he was 27 years old, maybe 29, whatever, for 50 years roughly. And every year he is, all of his finances have been completely transparent. I'm looking at a Forbes, this is Forbes magazine. The headline is, how much is Joe Biden worth? You can Google it. It was published last year. And Joe Biden is worth, at that time, last year, he was worth $8 million. That was his total net worth. Homes, everything, $8 million. And, they in this Forbes article, and so, again, John, you're full of crap. And I'm pissed that you came in and crapped all over my living room floor here. As Forbes noted, when he first got into Congress, he was basically broke. His law firm, his first check was $5,000, and that they used that to buy a bed. He said that didn't stop him from dreaming even bigger. After a tragic car accident in 1972 that killed his wife Nelia and baby daughter, Biden bought a new home for him and his boys, paying $185,000. At the time he bought it, Biden's salary as a senator was $43,000 a year. Over the years, he refinanced the home frequently, taking on mortgages in amounts exceeding what he originally paid for the house. He sold it in 1996 for $1.2 million. Biden put his 3 kids through private schools and college with the help of borrowed money. Biden explained at a 2015 event for the Department of Housing and Urban Development, quote, home ownership is how most middle-class families save, how most middle-class families build assets. And for many, it's the way you send your kid to college, borrowing against it. That's how I got my children through college. And then, end of quote. In 2001, when his daughter Ashley was a student at Tulane, he was on the hook for a half a dozen loans totaling more than $700,000 to send all of his children through school. Just because, this is from Forbes magazine, just because you're tight on cash doesn't mean you're broke. When Biden left office in 2017, he was worth an estimated $2.5 million. He had a life insurance policy and a handful of retirement accounts, but the majority of his net worth came from his Delaware home and his federal pension, which guaranteed him an annual income of $160,000 a year for life. So, I always have to take a breath, right? When some right-winger calls in and thought, I assume good faith. I assume that when people call in and say things that they're telling a truth, the truth, if not a truth, if not their truth. John, I'm pretty sure, is just BSing us. It's just so pathetic. These pathetic attempts by right-wingers to lie. It's another example of how untrustworthy Republicans are. It's really amazing.